Goodbye, my friend.
I've already gone.
This town, aeroplanes taking off every night and day. People just want to get away in the sun. Racing along this highway, driving my way gets me home. Breathing on this hot rod, thinking what I've got makes me wanna stay. At the end of the line, I'm reading your signs, and it takes my breath away. You and I are the same, we're one burning flame in the night sky. You and I, you and I, you and I. You and I. Climbing on a mountain feels like we've been counting all of our lives. Bleaching all of your long hair, people just wanna stop and stare. Me, I just smile. Teach me how to catch one, then we can have fun all day long. Slaving on this heat wave, sleeping on the footpath while we're on the run. At the end of the line, I'm reading your signs, and it takes my breath away. You and I are the same, we're one burning flame in the night sky. You and I, you and I, you and I, you and I. At the end of the line, I'm reading your signs, and it takes my breath away. You and I are the same, we're one burning flame in the night sky. You and I, you and I, you and I, you and I.
That's a good song. That's a local singer called Chris Keys. You may or may not have heard of him. I hadn't heard of him before, but I did play this a while ago. It's really good. It's from an EP called New Day. Chris Keys, New Day. Good morning. Number to ring if you want to contact this program. Look.
I must say I like that very much.
Wasn't that good?
I
It's a nice, jolly little song,
yes, I like
uncomplicated,
that. Yeah,
and happy,
yeah,
and clever,
yeah.
and a nice sound, and jaunty, and catchy.
Mm-hmm.
I came in here this morning and I sat down in the chair and I found 2 knives.
There's no eating allowed in the studio. You shouldn't be eating in the studio.
I'm not eating in the studio.
No
people
eating or
eat 2
drinking.
knives. Children could come in here and that could put your eye out.
Yeah, no.
It's a danger. I might have known they were there and could have lifted them and did something stupid. I put them out of harm's way.
Did you play anything by Big Joe South?
Pardon?
Did you play anything by Joe South?
When?
Well,
I'm only here. You
Yeah,
mean
but-
today already?
well, didn't he die yesterday?
I really, the games people play now,
Yeah.
every night,
Yeah,
every
he's
day
dead.
now, never meaning what they say now, never knowing what they mean.
Did you ever
Is he
meet him?
dead?
Did you ever meet him?
I never met Joe South.
Sort of sounds like a sort of guy that you would have run into. Yeah, but doesn't he? It does. Joe
Well, I
South.
wouldn't, even if I did meet him, I wouldn't say I had, because you would call me a liar. Joe South, what was the song? Games people
Games
play.
people play and walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a
and-
mile in my shoes. Maybe we could get games people play. Can we
It's
get that out
in-
of your...
It's in the core.
I know, but I can't. I'd have to get up out of my chair to get
There's a big book beside you, an index.
I
for
never look
just
at that.
Joe South. Go on,
I
go on,
wouldn't get
try
near
it,
it. I'm
try
not
it,
getting near it.
try
No,
it.
no.
Go on, go
Got
on,
the
go
book
on,
here.
go on,
Got
go
the
on.
book.
See if you get, go to South.
South, go to South.
Go to South. and Joe
The
South.
stuff you have
see
to
if
do. That's why I start. I shouldn't have to do this myself. Education LM so South. He's not here.
Is he not?
No, he's not.
I don't
Just
believe
go to
you.
show you. You see, this book. Let me explain. to the
Would people know what the book? Well, do you
No,
want?
but people don't know what the book is.
Do you want it?
I despise this book. I'll tell you what this book is. This is a book. Somebody in the BBC got an idea about 3 or 4 years ago.
Can we get the games people?
Will you
play?
stop? Can you hear me
Thomasina.
talking here? I'm telling the
get-
people what the book is. But 3 or 4 years
The
ago.
games people play. Joe South. Sorry, I was whispering to Thomasina.
3 or 4 years
We've got
ago.
it. It's on. We've got it for you.
Good, where is it then?
Well, it's on its way. It's coming
Okay,
to
all
you.
right, all right. It's good that I've got that. Quiet, I'm telling the people about the book. I'm telling the people about the book. I'm going to have to turn you off now if you don't adjust your behaviour. 3 or 4 years ago, people thought it'd be a good idea to get together all the songs that people like. So they didn't know where to go to find out where all the songs that people like. So they went to Radio 2. That's before they had people on like Russell Brand and Dermot O'Leary and Paddy Kilty and people like that. And they had real people on playing music. And then they discovered the songs that the people like. You know, things like...
Games people play.
Well, yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah. So what they decided to do was to compile a whole list of all the things that people like. So what they did was they got about 50 CDs and they filled them full of all the things that people like. And they bored a hole in the wall in here. And they put them all in there. And I've got a big list, a big book of all the songs that people like. And I will never go near it. Because everything in it, you don't like it. You don't like a single thing in it. And there's the book. And see, there you are, you see. And you say games people play, it's not in the book.
It should have been.
It should have been, but you see, I like that. That's why it's not in there. I have never found a song in there that I like. It's like Ralph's music. What a horrible thing to say. The number to ring if you want to contact this program is 08459 555 678. The email address is jerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. And the text messaging service for which everyone can use it, it's 81771. Right, I'm going to do something now which you do all the time, and I despise it. But I'm going to do it myself because I feel like doing it. Did you watch TV last night? Did you?
Why are you talking TV?
Because
I watch TV.
I want to ask if you saw Dallas.
I was out playing golf.
How weird is that?
No, and then when I came in, around 9 o'clock or so, around that time,
That's the time it started.
I started to read the paper,
Yes.
and then I looked over the top of the paper, and I saw a man in a helicopter.
What was it, the messenger?
A man
The Catholic
with a gear,
Gazette?
a man with a gear in a helicopter, and I looked over the top of the paper, and I saw it was that young fellow Ewing.
That young fella Ewing?
Yeah. And I said to my good wife, I said, is that the Dallas remake? And she says, yes. And my wife and my 3 daughters were texting one another, saying how much they were enjoying it.
I can imagine.
Did you watch it, Thomasina? Thomasina didn't look at it. She says, not at all. Catch yourself on, she said.
Well, she's wrong because it was very,
Ah,
very good.
Yeah.
It was
yes.
very, very
Well, you
good.
should text my wife and my daughters.
No, there's no need
when
to
it's on
text.
next Thursday night or
She should be
Wednesday
listening to
night.
the radio to hear her husband. I can imagine you looking over the top of the paper. Is that young fella Ewing? Is that young lad?
And then the old fella appeared.
Oh, he was great.
So, yeah,
Larry Hagman,
yeah.
JR.
And then it was over, and then my wife says, I'll go into the other room now and let you turn that off in peace because I know you want to turn it off. And I says, yes, I do.
Yeah, but see, they know you're an old curmudgeon.
So I turned it off and I
read the paper again.
No, I finished my wee book.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Been reading that for a long time.
I've only been reading it for a week.
That seems a long time to read a book.
It's a long time for me.
The
Well,
thing
it's actually short for me, actually.
The
It's
thing
short
about
for me.
the thing about JR.
Do you know what I realised this morning when I was shaving?
What? Are you ugly aware?
No,
What?
honestly, I want you to tell me this, honestly. You tell me how long this is. That
I don't know how long it is.
I've been reading a book now,
Yeah.
and the book is Stalingrad.
Yes, Anthony Beaver.
And I got it when it came out.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
How long? It's more than that.
3 maybe.
It's 20 years.
No, it's not. It's not 20 years.
How long is it?
Anthony Beaver.
Yes.
Oh, it's no more than. Oh, I don't think it's. I
What?
don't. I'm not wrong now.
Right.
I think it's no more than maybe 10 maximum.
I
Maybe
think not.
perhaps 5 or 6.
No.
How long have you got?
I have it since it came out, and I haven't finished it yet.
Thomasina,
Right.
will you
Thomasina.
Google Stalingrad by
Stalingrad.
Anthony Beaver, Beevor, and find out when it was released, when
What
it
are you
was first
saying?
published?
What are you saying?
I'd say maybe 96, 95.
I think.
Oh, no, sorry. 2005, 2006.
What are we
Something
talking
around
now?
that. Something around that.
Are we
I would
talking
say.
6 years?
Well, if you count back, it is 6 years, yeah.
I think it's a lot longer than
Well,
that.
I don't know. That's how long you've got the book.
That's how long I have the book, anyway.
Okay, Thomasina, will you check that out? Find out when that book was published, if you
It's
could.
very, very difficult to read. Did you?
I've read it, yeah.
You read it?
Oh.
No. You're a great reader of books. You
Yeah.
devour books. You can read.
I'm omnivorous.
You could read 4 or 5 books in a week.
Yes,
couldn't you?
at a
Couldn't you?
time. At a time.
Right, seriously, but you can read good.
No, I'm not boasting.
No,
It's just that's the way I am.
I know there's people like that. People can just
I know.
go through.
And there's nothing wrong with people who don't read.
no, and there's but
But the only thing is, do you know when you read sometimes...
You struggled with Stalingrad.
What?
You struggled with Stalingrad.
I didn't struggle with
Yes,
Stalingrad.
you did.
I didn't struggle with Stalingrad.
Hark at him in there telling lies.
1999.
What is it?
11 years.
98?
98. You've had that book for 14 years.
Yeah.
And you still haven't finished
No.
it. That seems to be some kind of record.
Because and there's different bookmarkers in it.
Different postcards, photographs, family photographs.
You know when you start.
Grandchildren coming
You know
along.
when you start and you say, right, because I remember talking to you about it.
Yes.
I remember saying to you, I've got this book in Stalingrad, and you said to me at the time, you said, I really struggled with that book, but I was determined to finish it. And he said it took a lot of time, a lot of concentration.
Did I say that?
You did. You said, and I concentrated and I got through it. He said, I was so glad to close that book and say, finished it.
That's not like me. If that had been so hard for me, I wouldn't have finished it at all.
No, well, you said that. You said it's a very difficult book because there's so many Russian and German names in it, and it's.
Well, I'm used to Russian and German names.
Yeah.
No.
And I'd be full of enthusiasm when I say, right, I'm going to conquer this book this time.
Mm-hmm.
And then who was that again? Was he Russian or was he a German? Let's go back to the page. Let's go back. I'll read it again. Concentrate more. And then eventually. I closed. I said, I'll come back to that.
The thing about JR that I thought was really good last night was when Bobby went in to see him first. You see, what happens is Bobby has got a son who's good, who used to go out with... Do you know who he used to go out with?
No. Nadine?
Yeah.
What? Who? Tell me. Start that again.
You see, you know nothing about this. Bobby's son is called John... No, it's not John, but I can't remember his name anyway, the character name. But
John
his
Ross.
John Ross. Bobby's son is called John Ross. Okay?
Bobby's the boy in the helicopter.
Yes. Bobby's son is called John Ross.
John Ross.
John Ross is played by an actor called Jesse Metcalfe.
Oh,
Who went out for a long time
yes,
as Nadine Cohen.
Nadine.
Right.
Aye.
You see?
Aye.
So we have to ask Nadine what she thinks of John Ross. You haven't seen it, so it's not fair.
No.
So he is good, right? So JR's son is called whatever his name is. Well, he's bad. You see? So
Bad.
He's bad. So what happens is
There was a bad boy at the end of it last night.
Bad boy at the end of it. That's
a baseball pitcher.
that's JR's boy.
Is that the boy who walked
And
met a
he
girl?
fine-looking woman walking across. And do you notice she walked across the football pitch with her high heels and didn't sink into it? Do you notice that? Must have been artificial turf. Anyway, he is making... Bobby's son, who is good, has decided that the conservation lobby is for him. So he decides that days of oil are over. So he is experimenting with methane gas, which is the wave of the future. But he has discovered that if he mines methane gas, it causes earthquakes and kills thousands of people, which is an inconvenience, as you can probably gather. Now, John Ross has discovered oil on South Fork. Now, the mother, do you remember her name? Ellie?
Miss
Remember
Ellie?
her?
No, she wasn't Miss Ellie.
Miss Ellie.
Was she Miss Ellie?
Well, whatever she was.
I don't know.
The mother Ewing. Bobby promised her when she died that they would never
Had
grill.
they a father?
They had a father, a big fella who died.
Was he a big grey hair? Was
Yeah.
he a singer, Howard Keel?
No.
Or somebody like that?
No, her kid came on later. There's
Was
another
he
guy.
a boyfriend of Ellie?
Well, talk like that.
I don't know what he talked, but
Anyway, I think he came along after the father died.
Was he? Well, who was the original daddy?
I can't remember his
All
name.
right. Go
Can
on.
you stop?
Okay.
People know who he is anyway. Jack somebody.
Oh, right.
Jock.
Jock.
Somebody. Anyway, never mind. I'm lost now with you. I'm talking here.
Right.
I'm talking
John
here.
Ross has discovered oil.
He's discovered oil in South Fork.
Right.
But Bobby has promised his mother they will never drill in South Fork. Right?
Who gets shot? Or
JR
who
gets
got
shot.
shot?
JR got shot. But he's all right now. And the best thing about that was, you see, let me explain this. So he's good. So he doesn't want to drill for oil, but the other fellow is bad, being JR's boy. Yeah. So he's determined to drill oil. Now, Bobby's very annoyed, and he's going to sell South Fork to finance his boy's work on methane gas so that the world would be a cleaner place to live in. John Ross, the JR's boy, doesn't like this. So JR...
Wait a minute. No, I'm lost here.
I know you're lost. I can tell you're lost. So you need to watch this stuff.
Bobby's son is John Ross, and he's good.
He's good.
And he's got
because
oil.
you've dealt with Nadine Coyle.
That's great, so he has.
Right, you've got oil.
See all that stuff you read in the paper about Derry? It's not true. People in Derry are beautiful. Beautiful.
So John Ross's oil. Bobby, the man who was shot's son, what?
JR's son. He wants to drill oil on South Fork.
But sure. Oh, and John Ross doesn't want it, even though he discovered
No, he wants
oil.
to move on to methane gas, which is more economically, environmentally friendly.
But you said it causes earthquakes.
That's the only
So
problem.
he's a bad boy then?
No, he's not a bad boy because he was torn because he wanted to tell his father.
I don't think you know what you're talking about.
I know what I'm talking about. He was torn because he didn't want to tell his father until the last minute that he couldn't go on with this methane stuff. It was going to be difficult because there were people had been killed in Asia.
Susan says you're talking through your... She's on two.
What does she know?
On two.
Hello, Susan.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Anderson.
What do you mean I'm talking through me? What are you talking about?
You're going on there about Dallas and John Ross and this, that, and the other. You haven't got a notion what you're on about.
Well, tell me where I've gone wrong.
To start off with, John Ross is JR's son.
Yes. And what's Bobby's son?
You told Sean that JR,
I've got the name wrong.
John Ross was Bobby's son.
Who's Bobby's son?
Not about Christopher.
What?
Christopher,
yeah, well, that's what's... Okay, then. So Bobby's son is good.
The right way.
Christopher's the person who went out with Nadine Coyle, right? Did you not know that?
It was Jesse that went out with Nadine Coyle.
Yeah, Christopher is Jesse. Jesse went out with Nadine Coyle. Okay? And John Ross is JR's boy, and he's bad. So I got the names wrong, I'm sorry. But everything else is right.
You're talking a load of nonsense.
I'm not talking a load of nonsense.
Did you watch it last night?
I loved it. I thought it was great.
So did I. Or did you really?
Pardon?
It's not like you to say you love something.
I do love it. I often say I like things if I like them. I do. I see very few things that I like. I enjoyed it tremendously. I'm a fan now. I'm going to watch the whole thing. Did you watch it yourself?
Oh, I did indeed.
Wasn't it great?
Well, when it first came on, I thought, oh, this is boring.
No.
But as it went on, yes, I thought, great, the viewings are back.
I was very hesitant to watch it because Channel 5's gone to the dogs, you see, and I thought it was going to be really, really crap. And
what about Sean there? Let Sean have a word there.
No, please. There's no
Hello,
need.
Sean.
There's no need. I'm sorry, he can't hear you.
Well, let me to you.
I just wonder, Susan, was Gerry curled up in the settee watching it? You had your wee legs tucked up under you and sitting in the settee, Gerry, watching it? Your nightie on you?
Oh, so it's not manly to watch Dallas, is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, Susan.
Sean, did you watch it?
No, Susan.
That's because he's a real man. So he can't watch Dallas. He's looking over the top of a paper saying, "There's that yokel doing."
Gerry, give over a minute. That's why Sean wasn't quite sure what you were on about.
You could. That's right. You didn't make sense to me.
Oh, look, there's a CD starting. I can't understand what happened there.
Jim's on one.
Hello?
Hello, Susan.
Sean?
Yes, Susan.
He was given all the wrong names.
I didn't know what he was talking about.
I know,
It
he
didn't
was
make
probably
sense.
half asleep.
Anybody can make a mistake. So Christopher's Bobby's boy.
Right, well, I'll tune
John
in
Ross
next
is
week and
JR's boy.
see if you've got it right.
All right, then. Okay, bye.
Okay,
bye. Bye. I didn't like her.
Jim, no.
Hello, good morning, Jim.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jim. How are you today?
Sorry.
Yes?
I'm getting things wrong.
I just got one name wrong. You know, I'm not perfect. I'm talking off the top of my head here.
No, Jerry. Referring to the thing about Shane, the Coiler, pick up the guns. You got that. I don't think you're watching a different film.
No, that's the same film. That was yesterday.
No.
Well, what was wrong with
What
that?
about the line that makes a guy go for his gun? He irks him. He says Jackson was a low-down Yankee liar.
That's right, yeah. You're a low-down Yankee liar.
You kept You kept concentrating on pick up the gun.
All right,
Pick
Dad.
up the gun, and then, Gerry, that's all wrong. He says Andrew Jackson was a low-down Yankee liar, and that's when the young guy goes for the gun.
Yeah.
Take that back.
But he had no
And he
choice.
got lost and he blew
I
away.
know. He had no choice but to go
Right.
for the gun, though. I see you're a
That's the
student.
right way.
Right. Okay. Well, sometimes I don't get things right, but I try and get the essence of the thing right. I try and get the spirit of the thing correct. But sometimes
You were
the details are wrong.
concentrating- You were concentrating on pick up the gun.
Pick up the gun.
Pick up the gun.
I love that. Pick up the gun.
You should tell Sean to pick up the gun more regular.
All right, then. Well, thank you for your attention. And any mistakes that I make, I want them...
Gerry.
Pardon?
A good show.
Oh, thank you very much indeed. Oh, are you talking about Shane?
Aye.
Remember people used to call movies, used to call it a good show.
Good show.
Remember they used to say it. They say, well, what's Batman like? Oh, it's a good show. Remember people used to say that?
Yeah.
That's harking back to the old showbiz origins, the old theatre. Anyway, listen, thank you very much. Anything else you want to add?
Who, me?
No, not you. What do you call that other gentleman?
He's away.
Oh, is he gone?
Yeah.
He never even said cheerio.
Oh, the wee
So
man's
ignorant.
gone.
He's
Hey,
gone.
What do you mean so ignorant? What about you talking to Susan?
I know, but she deserved it.
Sometimes you sit down, your mind plays on you, and it can just feel like the day flies straight past you. But up until last week, there was direction, and never could I see that I can't run when I want to, I can't hide when I need to. I'm left wondering why I cannot decide where I'm going to. It takes time to remember, it takes time to assemble the thought of a day when I only do what I want to. Building a picture, a great place in your mind, so you can get through a day at work and smile. How many days can one take and still march on, fearing the day one will break? I hope I'm wrong. Up until last week, there was direction, and never could I see that I can't run when I want to, I can't hide when I need to. I'm left wondering why I cannot decide where I'm going to. It takes time to remember, it takes time to assemble the thought of a day when I only do what I want to. I can't run when I want to, I can't hide when I need to. I'm left wondering why I cannot decide where I'm going to. It takes time to remember, it takes time to assemble the thought of a day when I only do what I want to. I can't run when I want to, I can't hide when I need to. I'm left wondering why I cannot decide where I'm going to. And it takes time to remember, it takes time to assemble the thought of a day when I only do what I want to.
That's good. That's a singer-songwriter called John Cribben. He is now doing very well for himself in New York. He's originally from Castle Dawson, brother of Kieran Cribben, who's the lead singer with In Excess at the moment. That was a band that he was in a couple of years ago called, maybe not necessarily a band, but a kind of a collective type recording outfit, which were called Building Pictures. And they had an EP called Joey and the Moon, and that's called Building a Picture. I like that. Do you like that?
Yes, it was quite nice.
Wasn't it like you? I thought that's why I always ask if you like things.
I know,
If I think you
that
don't.
Yes, I know.
Gerry, I'm sure you won't read this, but it's worth a try. Why do people distrust me so much? A cancer research fundraiser. Why would I not read that? In Kiwi's Bar in Portrush this Sunday at 8:30 with DJ Tom and friends. Free admission, just fundraising fun. Why would I not read that? Why would the person think that I'd be so cool and horrible as not to read that?
Maybe they think that's their way of getting your attention by saying you'll not read this.
But it's very annoying.
I know.
A person sends me an email. What's that noise? There's the machine again. It's only sending me through stuff. There's a very cruel thing sent to me on the internet by a gentleman who's I won't mention his name, and he sends me a little thing that's on the internet. It's an advertisement for the Stephen Nolan show. It's a picture of a large grub, and I think it's very cruel, and I think absolutely totally unnecessary. But actually, it's a very good resemblance. Another person writes to me and says, is Bobby Ewing an Indian?
I wouldn't know.
Yes. Absolutely. He's not well, you know. Bobby Ewing's got cancer.
Oh,
yeah, he's not well.
No.
And he's he's doing all the right things because he feels as if his time in this world is short. And I think it's good because, you know, and JR is a bad article. He looked as if he was in a kind of a coma, and you felt sorry for him at the beginning. But then when his son, John Ross, came along and told him about all the devilment he was up to, JR suddenly came alive. He became alive when the devilment was mentioned, and he's just as evil as ever, which is great. I urge people to watch that. You see, you're so dismissive of everything. That's because you're an old curmudgeon. Is that young fella, Ewan? Is that young fella?
I'm not going out tonight. I'm going to wash my hair and watch Dallas.
You think you only watch it if you're women? That's what's wrong with you. Is that young fella, Ewan, over there?
On 92 to 95 FM and 1341 medium wave. This is BBC Radio Ulster.
It's 11 o'clock and with the BBC News, this is Keith Fernside. The Royal Black Institution has apologised to the clergy and parishioners of St Patrick's Catholic Church in Belfast. In an open letter, the organisation says its anger is not directed at them, but at the Parades Commission. During a Black Institution parade at the end of last month, loyalist bands played music outside the church in breach of a Parades Commission ruling. The institution calls for the removal of the Parades Commission and refers to the injustice and hurt it says is caused by its determinations. The SDLP's North Belfast MLA Alban McGuinness welcomed the apology.
I think that this is a game changer. I think it has transformed the situation practically overnight. It provides a very, very positive context in which to address the forthcoming parade on the 29th of September.
An 18-year-old man who was being questioned about a bomb attack on the police in Londonderry in June has been released without charge. French police say a 4-year-old British girl found alive in a car where 3 family members were shot dead had been hiding motionless for 8 hours. A murder inquiry has started with forensics officers examining the scene of the shooting near Annecy. From there, Imogen Folks reports.
French police say they are shocked and baffled by the brutality of this crime. 3 people in a British registered car shot dead in the middle of the afternoon in the middle of a popular tourist region. The 3 are thought to be British citizens, a husband and wife and a grandmother. One daughter, just 8 years old, was shot 3 times and seriously injured. The younger daughter, only 4, hid beneath her mother and was not even found by police until midnight. And not far from the car, a cyclist also shot dead.
That was the news. Now Grant Cameron has the sport.
Downpatrick swimmer Bethany Firth was a late withdrawal from her 100 metres breaststroke heat at the Paralympics due to a shoulder injury. The 100 metres backstroke gold medalist was also forced to pull out of the 200 metres freestyle last Sunday with the same problem. Eglinton star Jason Smith, favourite to complete the sprint gold double, runs his 200 metres heat soon. In tennis, Andy Murray says he'll fight from the first point to the last in his US Open semi-final against Thomas Berdych after after battling back to beat Marin Cilic in 4 sets. At one stage, the Scot was a set down and trailed 5-1 in the second. And in Gaelic football, Pat Gilroy has quit the Dublin job after losing their All-Ireland semi-final against Mayo on Sunday.
And how's it looking out there, Cecilia Daly?
The dry, bright weather will continue until this afternoon with some hazy sunshine. Southwesterly winds will freshen to become rather blustery, and that will make it feel cooler, though temperatures should still reach around 18 or 19 Celsius. Thicker cloud will bring some patchy rain this afternoon, mainly to northern and western counties, and tonight will be mild and cloudy, spots of rain here and there, overnight lows of 13 degrees.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel news.
In County Fermanagh, the Knox Road in Lisnaskea has reopened following an accident there last night. A garden party is taking place in Hillsborough today. You aren't expecting much traffic disruption, and parking is at the Maze Regeneration site. The Oyster Festival takes place in the town over the weekend, however. Roads will be closed with heavy traffic on Saturday and Sunday. Ulster bus services won't be able to come into the town, instead using the Hillsborough Road roundabout to pick up and drop off passengers. And one flight delay at the George Best Belfast City Airport. The 20 to 12 Isle of Man arrival is now due at 12:20. Kerry Martin reporting.
Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster.
On Talkback today with me, William Crawley, they've said sorry. Has the Royal Black Institution gained the moral high ground, or is it just a strategy to secure future parades? They also say parading is part of the DNA of Protestants. We'll be debating the genetics of marching. Tell us what you think. 08459 555 678. Freddie Flintoff's in training to become a boxer. We've got his trainer on the show, Barry McGuigan. And Dallas is back. What else would you like to see revived? Bonanza? Little House on the Prairie? The McCooeys? Our lines are open from 12 noon.
I must examine my DNA spiral and see if I can find my marching gene. It has been confirmed that American singer-songwriter Joe Smith... Joe Smith.
What do you mean it's been confirmed?
It's been confirmed by me on the internet. I know, but when you tell me something, it means nothing. I've been on the internet itself. He died age 72.
Yes.
Joe South. This was his biggest hit. You see, but you never check anything out because you don't value detail. Detail is important.
No, a man has died. What more do you need?
This was his biggest hit, remembered by the elderly amongst you.
What the games people play now, every night and every day now, never meaning what they say now, never saying what they mean, while they while away the hours in their ivory towers, till they covered up with flowers in the back of a black limousine. Whoa, la da 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 da, talking about you and me and the games people play now. Whoa, we make one another cry, break a heart and we say goodbye, cross our hearts and we hope to die that the other was to blame. Oh, but neither one will ever give in. So we gaze underneath, pretend, thinking about the things that might have been, and it's a dirty, rotten shame. Oh, la da 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 da, la da 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 da, talking about you and me and the games people play now. Oh yeah. Walking up to you, singing glory hallelujah, and they try to sock it to you in the name of the Lord. They're gonna teach you how to meditate, read your horoscope, cheat your fate, for the most to hell with hate. Come on, tell me what you see. What's happening to you and me? God grant me the serenity to just remember who I am. Oh, cause you're giving up your sanity for your pride and your vanity. Turn your back on humanity. Oh, and you don't give a I keep on talking about you and me, brother, and the game people play now. I'm talking about you and me, and the game people play. I wonder, can you come out and play?
That's one of the greatest records ever made. That's Kate Bush, of course, Cloud Busting. And before that, we had a song from the late Joe South. He just died yesterday, and that was a big hit. It was called Games People Play. See that song, Cloud Busting? Do you remember the opening ceremony of the Olympics? I waited all night for that song because that was perfect for it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what they could have done with that? And then they used it at the closing ceremony, which was a load of crap, wasn't it? Really, so closing ceremony. They used it. I think they used Running Up That Hill, but it was no good. That's the one they should have had. They should have opened it with that. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what they could have done with that? When I see Danny Boyle, I'm going to have a word with him.
Could you say hello to Marie Todd, please, who listens to the program?
Marie Todd?
Yes. And also,
is that our Marie Todd?
Yes, indeed. Marie's listening to the program. She's not going to torture you with asking you for a Dean Martin song this morning. Just say hello to her.
We haven't heard from Marie Todd for a
Marie
long time.
Marie phones regularly now.
Is that right? You never tell me anything. I may as well be sitting here naked.
And could you say hello to Kathleen?
You never notice anything I wear.
Could you say hello to
What do I look like in this? You see, you don't even notice I've got a new shirt on.
You were wearing it yesterday.
Ah, you never noticed. You never said nothing.
So.
I might as well be sitting here.
Janice said you were very clean yesterday.
as opposed to being dirty every other day.
Anyway, could you say hello to Kathleen, to Dorothy and Margaret, three girls who are taking a little break. They're down in the Downings.
The Downings.
And they were windsurfing yesterday.
Oh, jeez.
They're now looking for 3 men or indeed a good feed. Whichever comes first, whatever they get first.
And
today they're going fishing.
You see, they're fed up with the outdoor activity. They want some indoor action.
Yes,
Is that what they're trying to say?
Tell me this before you go.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you something. I was thinking on... When you were a dance band man, right?
I was never a dance band man. I was a kind of a...
Show band man?
No, I was a musician.
Musician.
Yes.
Yeah, but you're a dance band.
No, I was never really. That implies that I liked it.
Does it?
Yes. Go ahead.
You were a reluctant musician.
No, I was a reluctant show band
man.
Yeah, I used to hate it.
Yeah. Right. When the twist was out, I wasn't dancing.
Neither was I.
Yes, you were.
I've never danced in my life. I'd never danced in my life.
No, but I remember. See, I was thinking about you. I know you're a very bad dancer, as I am. Right?
That's because we're not interested in it.
You see, I want to dance. I would like to dance.
What a dance!
I want to be. I want to be Lionel Blair.
You want to be a show-off?
Basically,
there are two types of people in my life. When growing up in that kind of environment, going to dances and things like that, you know, where live bands were on the stage, I was regarded as there was two types of human beings: the type of beings who danced, and the type of beings who stood and listened to the band. And I regarded the people who danced as inferior beings.
No, I had a mixture. I told you before, there's two bands I listened to. One was your own band, the Chessmen, because I thought you were a great band, and the other band, of course, being the Freshmen. I never danced to them. I sat all through the show and listened to the bands. Anyway, I watched Chubby Checker on TV, and then I started to twist as a young man, and I was quite good, as I thought, at twisting. And then when it came on, it became popular, and it was on Top of the Pops. Men started to lift their leg.
They haven't stopped since?
No, but it spoiled my twisting. Did you lift your leg when you twisted?
Only if I had to.
No, but did you? Do you know when they would twist and then they would lift their leg up and then twist again?
I regarded that as a step too far.
Lifting your leg?
Yes. I would not regard... See, but when you lift your leg, you're interfering with the law of nature.
Yes.
And you're interfering with your natural gyroscope. In other words, your balance is in question.
Chubby Checker never lifted his leg.
I know, that's because he knew not to.
Yes, I know. But
listen, will you stop talking about things that are 50 years old?
On Top of the Pops. Men started lifting their leg on Top of the Pops.
But when the women lifted their legs is when the whole society went to pieces.
There's a call for you.
Here's a man of your own opinion. Anyone who watches Dallas is the sort of person who also watches the omnibus edition of Coronation Street. Get a life and pick up the gun. Your music is crap. How's it going, Gerry? Says a gentleman. JR's problems would all have been solved if he had placed an order with the inhabitants of Bin Mountain. B-I-N Mountain. Where is that?
I have no idea.
For a ween of hours of good black mountain turf. You and Sean could give Bobby a hand to drag it over the bog, over the top of the good purple heather. Referring, of course, to the Irish equivalent of oil, which indeed is the black turf. The residents of Dallas could have visited our humble shores to survey the good harvest of turf. Result, JR wouldn't have been shot, and Mummy would have been content that no oil wells were bored in South Fork. Bobby could have had a night on the bones with Nadine's old doll, and Sue Ellen could have got blocked with you and have been added to your list of wooden tops. What about, you know, this is about, don't you? What about Sean and all this? Would Sean pick up the pieces the next morning with his wise counsel? I'll meet you all in Ben Mountain tomorrow for a feed of hard-boiled eggs and a sup of the black tea. In Nadine's accent,
Leave my Christopher alone. See that thing you read about methane being causing earthquakes? It's not true. Methane gas does not cause earthquakes. Leave him alone.
I can't do her, you see.
Well, would you talk to a girl on one? I want you to talk about your book.
Okay. Will you do that before you go?
Do what?
Say this in Nadine's voice. See all that stuff you read in the paper about methane gas causing earthquakes? It's not true.
Do you see all that stuff you read on the papers and the books about methane gas
Causing
earthquakes? Well, I can tell you now it's not true. There's never an earthquake in Derry. We never had one.
And there's methane gas coming out of cows' arses all over the place.
Everywhere, up and farms all around us.
Not an earthquake seen nowhere.
Never had an earthquake in my life.
It's that young fella. It's that young fella Ewing.
You like that, don't you?
Is that young fella Ewing? Greg was, is that young fella Ewing? How much does he earn? What's his wage packet?
I want to know how much he earns. How much do they make it from that oil?
Come on. What about the girl, Maria?
I want some girl
lift the leg.
Maybe she lifts her leg too. Where is she? Maria.
Gerry, I would love to have whatever you are drinking.
You want to see us when we are drinking? We sit there and say nothing.
Naked? Did you say you were naked?
Oh. No, do you know what we're high on? We're high on life.
Yeah, isn't it fantastic?
Okay, sorry. Well, what can we do for you, darling?
I'll tell you why I'm ringing. I heard you giving Sean a wee bit of jip there after the news about attention to detail.
Oh, you see, this is where he falls down.
Well, can I read a wee extract from a book by a certain Gerry Anderson?
Oh, really? Which book is that?
It's Heads.
Oh, thank you. That's the last one. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, I loved both of them. I thought it was great. Though the second one was a bit rude.
Of course it was, but you see, you can't tell a story like that and not be rude. Because I used to be a very rude person. As a matter of fact, I still am. It's only the BBC have trained me not to be.
Aye, but you're talking to somebody who wasn't allowed to watch Dallas when she was growing up.
Well, you see, you were, well, kept down.
I'm making up for it now, don't you worry.
You should go to the Downings for some indoor action. Go and join those girls. It's not too late. Well, where were you brought up, tell me?
Stop that now.
Where were you brought up?
Where was I brought up?
Yeah.
In the country.
Country, whereabouts, roughly?
Outside Downpatrick.
Obviously, it's very quiet down there.
I know.
Okay. But then again, I suppose, when you think about it now, you probably look back and you say to yourself, well, I had a very happy childhood and well-adjusted and healthy.
We had a great childhood. We were shoved out of the house at 9 a.m. in the morning with a plastic bag full of diluting juice and sandwiches and told to come back about 7 o'clock.
You couldn't do that now.
No.
But see, the point that you weren't allowed to watch Dallas didn't do any harm at all. It means that you're ready. Or EastEnders. That means you're ready to watch it now because you're developed.
Yes, well, that's why I'm reading books by Gerry Anderson.
Exactly. Bad books. Books with bad things in them. You see,
do you want to hear this? Do you want to hear this?
What's that?
Like you're talking about uni. I hate that word uni, but anyway, it's university, but we'll let you away with that.
Yes.
You're talking about seeing Cream?
Yes.
At Queen's?
Yes.
And I remember thinking that this gig was special. On stage were Ginger Baker, Steve Bruce,
yeah.
Eric Clapton. Who's Steve Bruce?
I'm sorry. That's a mistake.
Is that Jack's brother?
Jack. All right then. There's two printing errors in the book. And
I didn't see the other one. What's the other one?
I can't remember the other. There's another one somewhere.
Well, you've got Henry McCulloch's name right. That's fair play to you.
All right then. That's Jack Bruce. All right, okay. I'm naming the personnel of the band Cream.
You did say Brady Gallagher instead of Rory Gallagher, but I'll let...
Well, I meant Brady Gallagher. Brady Gallagher was a good friend of mine. Hi, and stuff. What did Brady used to sing? What did Brady Gallagher used to sing?
I don't know. Did she sing?
I just dropped in to see you all. I lonely stay a while.
I knew Brady a long time ago.
Kieran's a nice singer.
She is a nice singer. Maybe ask her to sing at the end.
Much.
Yeah, go on, ask her to sing that song.
Maybe you'd sing a little something else for us.
Do you know what song I love?
What?
You know Leon Redbone?
Yes.
Seduced.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a good job you weren't allowed to watch Dallas. The way you've turned out, it's okay. Listen,
I
now
told
you
you
sound
I was
like
making up for it, didn't I?
you sound like my kind of woman. Come up to the
You
dining.
told me that before, because I told you one day that I was lying in the bath reading your first book and listening to Ralph McLean.
Well, you ruined it there.
I
Just
spoiled it
just
there,
ruined
didn't
that whole thing there. That was going well there for a
Yeah,
while, and then you just pulled the plug out, basically. Well, listen,
What,
thank you
reading
for your
book? Are you
interest.
talking about Ralph? You leave Ralph alone.
I like Ralph.
The man's a gem.
He is a gem.
I think Radio Ulster are very lucky to have him.
And Sherry McIlwain.
Oh, did you hear Stephen Nolan this morning about Sherry? As if he's never heard of her before. She's been on that slot for years.
No, he hasn't. This is the whole point.
He's just discovered her.
You see, people don't understand. Let me just tell you about Stephen Nolan. He has no life of any kind. Ever since he was born with a microphone sticking out of his mouth. And he is not. All he cares about is being on the radio and talking shite. Now,
Do you want to hear something,
he has
Gerry?
he has no life, and it's only now.
You're not listening, Gerry.
You're not, and, do you want a wee bit of gossip? My friend used to be a traffic warden up in Belfast.
Yes.
She's only 4'10", bless her, right? So you can imagine, the grief that she got.
Yeah.
But guess who she stopped one day and asked him to move on?
Nolan.
And you know what he did?
What did he do?
He tried to bribe her with a can of Fanta. He did. He said, "Here, have a wee can of Fanta."
You see, bribery.
Take you on there.
She should have arrested him for bribing an officer.
I think she was afraid of him maybe sitting on her because she's only 4'10".
Anyway, listen.
Sure, I better go. I've got a curtain hanging half up here. I have to go and hang the rest of it.
Oh, right. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your interest and thank you for reading my wee books, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
And if you ever need me to sing, sure, give me a wee shout.
All right then. Bye-bye. Bye.
I know you did.
I did not.
You liked her.
I did not.
You did.
Do anything.
Yeah, you liked her.
Don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her in your heart. Then you can start to make it better. Hey, Jude, don't be afraid. You were made to go out and get her.
That's the best version of Hey Jude. That's Wilson Pickett, and Paul McCartney's been trying to sing like that for all his life. That's an old one, but it's quality, isn't it? Did you say something on the line there?
Did I?
I don't know.
No,
you
I
said
didn't.
something. What did you say?
No, I didn't say. I said
Oh,
something
that's
to you,
okay.
but it was private.
Oh, was it? What was it?
I can't say. I don't like the end of that.
I particularly like the end of it.
You see?
Yeah.
No, I just think it just goes.
See, that's what Paul McCartney's been trying to sing like that all his life, and has never been able to do it because he's from Liverpool and he's Irish. You can't do that unless you're from the deep south and you're Wilson Pickett and you're black. You can't. That's the only way you can sing like that. Elvis could never sing like that either. Tried as hard as he could, but he couldn't do it. You can't sing like that if you're white. White man can't sing. Can you say well done to Wee Dud and Kevin, who has just completed a sponsored walk from the Laurel Glen to the Balmoral Hotel? A big feat for those two, all in aid of the Dairy Farm Retired Taxi Drivers Association. That doesn't make any sense. Dairy Farmer Retired Taxi Drivers Association? That doesn't seem to connect in some way.
No.
That's from Morris and Wee Bernie. There's probably some antediluvian kind of meaning that we've missed there. Poor Gerry's getting a wild hard time today. We love you, Gerry. You see, this is encouragement I'm getting from the listeners. I bet you Gerry doesn't remember Bobby Ewing when he was Mark Horace, the man from Atlantis. Do you remember that?
No.
I do.
You don't.
I do.
Well,
Because I'll tell you why. Because I spent a very important
Was
formative...
that not a puppet show?
No. Now, you see, a lot of that stuff was missed here. I went through a very strange period in my life, and I don't like talking about myself.
No, you don't. No.
As you
Go
well
on.
know.
Go on. Make it. Go on.
When I was in America, the very first time, I was there for about a year or so. And I was very confused, you know. And I had no life. It was kind of like Nolan. And all I ever did was play music. And I used to live in this hotel, right? And I was on my own. And I used to play every night. And we weren't travelling or anything. We used to be kind of a residency, playing in a rock band, right? And you were under tremendous pressure to be better, to be better, to be better, to be better. So we used to play, I used to play from 8 until 1 o'clock at night, right? And then at 1 o'clock we used to have a submarine, they called it submarine, they called it a submarine then. And then at 2 o'clock we'd go back into the nightclub and we'd rehearse until 6 o'clock in the morning, right? 4 hours. And then you go home, and then you go to your bed, and you get up about 2, right? And I get up at 2 and have a wee like bite to eat, and then I would practice for another 2 hours, right? And that's the regime. That's what I was like. I had no life at all. And then I had about 3-4 hours off that I felt as if I had to do nothing. So anybody else went out for a walk. But you see, I never saw the light of day for about 10 years. So I used to put on TV, and I used to watch all the television shows for about 3 or 4 hours a day. And do you know what my favourite was? The Time Tunnel, right? And The Man from Atlantis, and all the Star Trek things over and over again, because they were on a loop in all the various stations. We didn't have that here. We have it now. But you could watch...
How old is Star Trek?
1965, 6, 7.
Don't believe me.
There's only one series, apparently. Yeah.
Is that right?
I know the dialogue in nearly every one of them. And The Man from Atlantis was one of them. And I used to watch that all the time. And
what was it about?
The Man from Atlantis.
Yeah, what was it? What?
About this gentleman. His name is Patrick Duffy, the guy who's Bobby Ewing.
Mm-hmm.
He'd webbed feet.
Oh, no.
You see. You didn't know Bobby Ewing? That your fellow's webbed feet. That's it, your fellow Ewing. He's got webbed feet.
But what did he do, the Man from Atlantis? What was,
he did stuff.
What was it about?
Load of crap.
Well, what?
Atlantis, of course, is a sunken city.
Yeah, was he in and out of water or what? What was it all
He's
about?
in and out of water.
Well,
I don't remember. It was all crap. It was just this
you
man.
must remember it.
He'd do things.
If you watched it all the time, you
It was
must
kind of
remember.
like a Superman thing. He had special powers and stuff.
And what?
Web feet. He could swim.
What did he say? Were ships sinking and
He'd do all that
them
stuff.
out of the water and
all that stuff, yeah.
You're not telling me much about it.
I don't remember anything about it. All I just remember was lying watching them. Gerry, if you want to see oil barns, go down south to Armagh.
There's a wee call for you.
What about that Rodney Crowell song? Speaking of yesterday, there was no bad word in it. That man yesterday must be hearing voices. There we go. A lot of people complaining that I got JR's sons wrong. John Ross is John Ross, son of Bobby's son is called Christopher. I know that, sorry.
He is called Christopher. I used to go, it's not true what they say about him. It's not true. No earthquakes.
There's a call for you.
Must admit, gentleman says, I'm enjoying the Woman's Hour crossover. That's another one of your men who think it. You see, I don't like that. You see, this is what's wrong with me. See, I hear you sniggering when you hear me talking about Dallas.
I can't believe it. You sat and they watched Dallas last night. I
This is what
really can't believe it.
no.
And you say that you're looking forward to it. I
No.
just can't see
This is what I'm talking to you about.
Cancelling your
but
Wednesday night.
what I'm saying to you is, why not? Because you regard that as a less than masculine thing
No,
to do.
it's just. It's
oh
not,
yes.
It's not good.
Oh yes. No,
TV for me.
you think that's an old sissy thing to do.
No, it's not. It's not.
It is.
It's an
That's
old
what you
sissy
said.
thing.
No, but you think it's a sissy thing because the listeners are responding. All the old golfers are all
No.
writing in and saying women's are stuff like that. It's not about women. You see, it's about sensitivity, Sean. It's about feelings. It's about love. It's about hate. It's about anger. It's about filial dispute. It's about mothers. It's about children. It's about sex. What?
The wee woman in you's trying to get out.
The wee woman in me got out a long time ago. I'm trying to get her back in. Turkey neck. Any chance of some music or crack? Bobby's son is Christopher. People won't let me forget that. Caller, I'm just calling a message here. So now that I have time to read them out, a caller has a collection of used stamps. Will anybody want them? Possibly a charity. And Brenda Armstrong rings. She says, has anybody got 2 spare tickets for the proms in the park at the Titanic Slipway this Saturday night? Anybody got 2 tickets for the proms in the park at the Titanic Slipway this Saturday night? I used to present that, you know.
That's right. I watched the...
You wouldn't give me any money, so I had to
You didn't
stop.
watch the proms last Saturday night.
No, I can't be bothered with that. I've had enough flag waving.
So it wasn't a flag wave. It was
No,
all
everywhere.
all the songs from
I am
from
fed
the
up.
big shows.
I am fed up turning on the TV and watching people waving flags. Why don't they just stop?
This was all the songs from the shows in America.
I
all
know,
the
but they're
great
still waving
songs.
flags at the end of it.
Great.
They're either waving flags here or Belfast or the Olympics somewhere. And why do these people just leave their flags at home? Gerry, could you please pass this on to your listeners? Gortnamona GAC West Belfast are running a fundraiser to raise money for this 3-year-old boy from Belfast who is suffering from a condition called neuroblastoma. It's a form of cancer that can hopefully be treated abroad to improve this child's way of life. We are running an over-40s football tournament this Saturday involving a few other local GAA clubs at Gortnamona Pitch, starting at 2:30, followed by a great night's entertainment in our club rooms that night, on Saturday night, of course. Tickets are only £5, and you can pay on the door. Please try and support this event to help this child and his family. £250,000 is required. Oh, my God, what a huge amount of money is required, so every penny counts. That's a huge amount of money. That's the Gortnamona Committee, so anybody who wants to help there, go along there. It's an football tournament and in the club rooms in Gortnamona on Saturday night if you want to support that. Okay, there you are.
Where is Gortnamona?
I don't know. You mean that GA? That's with the people that sing about it?
Long ago in
Gortna Hills of Gortnamona. I don't know.
That was a poem.
I never got to the. I never got to the bottom of that.
Percy French wrote that.
Did he really?
Yeah, long ago in the. Is it the woods or the hills of Gortnamona? I heard it must be a bird. Long ago in the hills. I heard of. It was about his wife dying.
You're petering out, aren't you?
No, it's what it was. His wife had died, and then he was heartbroken at the time, and he found himself in Gortnamona either to go away there to for a bit of time to himself, and he heard the wind blowing through the trees, and it reminded him of his wife's voice calling him long ago in the hills or the woods of Gortnamona. I heard just can't remember the line, but that's what it's about. It was a tribute to his wife. So I just wonder where Gortnamona was.
I haven't listened.
And then I think it was Brenton O'Dowda put it to music.
I haven't listened to a word you're saying.
I know you did.
Who's on here?
Yeah, because it was.
Where is it? One or one?
Indians do not watch Dallas.
Yes, they do.
No, according to this.
Well, how do they know? How do they know?
This is signed Geronimo.
That's just someone on the phone here?
Yes.
Where?
One.
Good morning.
Hello.
Geordie. Would you watch Dallas, would you? You're a man of the soil.
Not really, no.
You see, you're like the rest
a
of
bit
them.
of oompa.
What?
It's a bit of,
Oompa?
Put on. It's
That's what's called acting, yes. That's all right, Geordie. I understand. I'm just asking you, just checking your opinion, just canvassing you. Well, how are things today?
And it's Myrtle's birthday today.
Myrtle, now you have to explain to the people who
Myrtle Hines.
Myrtle what?
Hines. Who's
Myrtle Hines?
That's the wee woman that met the sailor.
But you have to fill us in on that. Maybe we're not au fait as to what this particular greeting is about. She met this sailor.
Aye, a big ship pulled in.
Big ship pulled in. Big ship pulled in. Where did big ship pull in?
In Belfast.
Yes, and Myrtle met a sailor.
And Myrtle met a wee sailor.
And what nationality was this sailor that Myrtle met?
What?
What? Sorry, I'm not slagging you. You reminded me of your duck there. What nationality was the sailor that Myrtle met?
Oh, I think he was a sort of a Polish or a half-caste or something.
You don't say half-caste on the BBC, Gerry.
What?
You don't say half-caste.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, Polish, perhaps. Eastern European, you imagine.
Right.
Okay. And has she struck up a relationship with this Polish person?
Indeed. She did indeed.
Mm-hmm. Well, is it long-term?
Well, that was a big thing.
Well, maybe he's got a girl in every port. That's a possibility. Well,
but then the big ship had to pull out.
Well, you see, this is what they say. And
the little sailor's gone.
When the big ship pulls out, it's a different story. And do you think the big ship will pull back in again?
Well, I don't know.
Well, you see, what does Myrtle think?
We Myrtle Haynes, our little sailor's gone.
Uh-huh. Well, you see, Myrtle is going to have to deal with this heartbreak. If one strikes up a relationship with a peripatetic sailor, one must be prepared for the possibility that sailor will sail away and perhaps never come back.
Well, that's it. You must live. You're a wise man.
I've always lived for the moment, and you have to learn to do that.
You're definitely a wise man. You're well educated, wherever you got it from.
Well, yes. Well, you see, it's the state made me. And anything else? Everything's okay. Everything's okay in your life.
Well, now a bit of good news.
Yes.
Country comes to town in Portadown.
What's that?
Country comes to town.
What does that mean?
Well, all the country people go to Portadown.
Do they? And when?
Oh! And Kenny Archer, the whole jing banging, were all there.
Oh, was that a kind of a concert?
So country comes to town.
That's not the one that Hugo Duncan
Shut
does.
up, Henry! Henry, shut up!
Is Henry McCullough there, is
Henry
he?
McCockatiel shouting.
All right. Well, is that the thing that Hugo does?
What?
Is that the thing that Hugo Duncan does?
What?
A country comes to town.
Yes.
That's the wee money-making exercise.
And Kenny Archer, they'll all be there.
All after their people's shillings.
And I had two people called in yesterday.
Recipe?
What?
What did he say, recipe? Did he say recipe? Yes, I thought he said recipe.
Yeah.
Oh, and when is this Country Comes to Town concert in Portadown?
In 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks' time. Oh, with plenty of time to get your saddle on.
And he called in when you were running your singles night.
Oh, yes.
And I said, well, had you any luck? I had indeed.
Had he?
Huh.
He scored
Look,
on the...
he says the wrong route.
Scored on the singles night, eh?
Ah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I said, what happened? Huh. She cleaned out my bank account. She cleaned out the whole lot, and then she disappeared.
Well, our singles night have always been a success. We've always regarded them as being fruitful, and indeed some of the best things that have happened through our singles night.
Well, I don't know.
Well, that's a chance you take when you pick up a woman at a dance hall.
Well, that's it.
You see, you pay your money, and you take your chance. Right, Jordy, thank you.
Thank
Go away
you,
now.
bye now, and
Bye.
God bless you, my
God bless
friend.
you. God bless you. Good to see Jordy back to himself. I always know he's okay when I can't understand what he's saying. That means he's healthy.
The old man never chatted much. He wasn't that kind of guy. He doled out chores and he missed my games, and we never did see eye to eye. But the day my boss was leaving, the sky was ripe with snow. He tossed my duffel in the truck and he said, "You're good to go." Like a genie wreathed in camel smoke, a ball cap wearing sage, smoke stub hanging from his mug, he said, "Son, you've come of age. I can't give you no dang money nor no truck that's fit to drive, but I can leave you these few words that maybe help you stay alive.
Never read at a place called Mom's. Don't you find yourself in a high-stakes game, tuck your big bells in your sock. Be careful who you cotton to, especially the girl. If you find someone who loves you, son, go on and give it a whirl.
Don't flirt too much with your wife's best friend or with your best friend's wife. Don't drink and play with firearms, it'll ruin a fella's life. Don't steal what don't belong to you, and don't be afraid to give. Try to swing first in a barroom brawl, and don't go in tentative.
Never read at a place called Mom's. Don't play cards with a guy named Doc. If you find yourself in a high-stakes game, tuck your big bills in your sock. Be careful who you cotton to, especially the girl. If you find someone who loves you, son, go on and give it a whirl.
Now once we drew up to the depot, he said, tell me where you land. This snow won't hold the bus up. Then he held out his right hand. Now in case I've never told you this, I'm proud to call you son. But the best men carry pocket knives, and then he gave me one.
Never read at a place called Mom's. Don't play cards with a guy named Doc. If you're running around the wrong side of town, tuck your big bills in your sock. Be careful who you cotton to, especially the girl. If you find someone who loves you, son, go on and give it a whirl. If you find someone who loves you, son, go on and give it a whirl.
That was Rodney Crowell, Chris Christopherson, My Father's Advice, from an album called Kin, K-I-N. Suddenly finished. I'm not quite sure why. There was a little minute left on that, but these are strange times. That's a song called Just for Willie. That's my favourite song from favourite instrumental from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's from an album called Music for the Kilted Generation. That's called Just for Willie. A lady, Annette, says, I must admit I was very excited to hear the programme today. Did you hear that?
That's
People
nice.
excited to hear the programme. Thursday, 6th of September, she gives the date because it's memorable, to hear that you have watched Dallas, especially the Nadine and Big Jessie connection. How did Jessie Metcalf understand a single word Nadine said? Well, that's true. She went out with him for quite a long time, and she trailed him back here to Derry, didn't she?
I'm not quite sure.
He was here, yeah.
Well, I didn't know.
Yeah, she trailed him around the pubs and stuff.
Did she?
Apparently enjoys a wee jar, yeah. Which
Are you
yeah, he was
sure?
here, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people saw him. He's apparently a nice guy, yeah.
Are you sure?
Absolutely, yeah. See, he was down in a restaurant. He was down in Timber Key. There's a restaurant here called Timber Key. He was down there. And he was in a couple of pubs. Not that he was drunk, but he apparently enjoys a wee jar.
Yeah,
and people said he was a nice guy. But she split up with him, didn't she? She'd be rich.
Richard, now, and then when you be famous.
Sean is hilarious. Did you hear that? I'm glad there haven't been too many earthquakes in Derry, Londonderry. What with his methane gas, she knows about your farting. I love Dallas. My mother was very excited to see the beasts, cattle, on the Dallas farm during the opening title. See, people get excited when they see that kind of thing. I do very vaguely remember Dallas the first time around. How did that woman walk across the football field with those heels at the end? And you see,
Did you point it out?
I know. That's the woman in me pointed that out. Sarah Brett was in here. She noticed that too. You see, you never noticed that.
No.
You can't walk across a football field in high heels.
But then again, you say it may have been synthetic.
I know, but the point was you never even thought to ask the question. That's
But
the
I
point.
was juking over the top of the paper. I wasn't paying much detail.
There's that Joe Fly out of Dallas. That's that Joe Fly Ewing. Gerry, you flirt so much with the younger ladies who call the show such a Casanova. You two are on fire today. Keep up the great entertainment, or else call the fire brigade.
Can you say happy 60th? No, happy birthday. Drop that age. Happy birthday to Maura McQuillan from a friend in Oma, and also birthday greetings to a very big fan of your programme, Gerry, Bria McDermott. And this is from her daughter Colette. Bria never misses your show, listens all the time.
It's
so
your
happy
programme
birthday
as well, John.
To Bria McDermott. It's
It's your programme as well.
No, stop it.
You sound as if it is. You see?
It was so hateful, wasn't it?
On the original...
There was no call for that.
It was unnecessary and cruel, and therefore...
It really hurt me.
I know it did. That's how, anytime you go quiet, I know I'm hurting you. That's the way I know I've got through.
Yeah.
On the original Dallas series, John Ross Jr. was diagnosed with neurofibromatosis, which they said was cancer. Unfortunately for them, the Elephant Man came out at the same time, and John Merrick actually had the real condition. Did you know about that?
No.
I know nothing about that. Not interesting, says Manny, but something that came to mind. I suppose you could describe that as a brain fart. See, you know, sometimes a fact comes to you. A fact comes to you. Gerry, what is your experience? Now, here's an interesting one.
Is there a wee call?
I don't think so.
Yes, there is.
Gerry, what is your experience of calling women darling or dear? What's the difference? I know some women don't like it. Well, they don't, you know. I know why he's saying that, because I called a lady on the phone darling today.
You didn't, did?
I did.
But I thought it was genuine. I thought it was nice. It didn't.
I do if it sounds natural.
It was natural.
But you see, sometimes when it does sound natural and you do it, women say, don't call me darling.
No, I hit the old showbiz darling.
Darling!
Yes.
Hello, darling! Darling!
Yes, we all hit that.
We had enough of that.
Yes.
Anyway, it's very... I think... I remember... Love's another one. But see, that's a very northern thing. I picked that up when I lived in Manchester. I picked that up to call people love. Because everybody in Manchester, when I was living there, I lived there for 2 years, everybody called each other love.
I called a woman Mrs. the other day.
Hello, Mrs.
No, I said Mrs. I was sent to buy a bag of Morris Piper Spuds. You see, and I was standing in front of, you know, when you're in the supermarket and there's big.
You went to a supermarket?
I was at the top of the street.
My God.
I don't go too far.
My God.
You understand? And only for one item.
Morris Pipers?
And on the way up I was saying Morris Piper. And no way, you know, let's not forget this, you see.
Like Morris Dance.
And then I went in, and then there were all these Cares, Pinks, and there were all these other things. And it went out of my head.
King Edwards.
But the name of the spud went out of my head. And I was standing there, and I said, Mrs., there's a spud, and it's like a musical instrument. It's And then it came, Piper. She says, Morris Piper. And I said, that's it. I said, where are they?
Is that young fella Ewing over there? Is that young fella Ewing with the Morris Pipers? Is that him there? Is that him over there? Is that
There's a
him
call.
there?
There's a woman. There's a woman with a dog. There's a lady with a dog. And the dog's in distress.
There are many ladies
No, she
with
needs your
dogs.
help. Its skin's falling off. I'll go and talk to her, please. Please. It's Mrs. McSparran. She needs your help. She's even taking the dog to the vet. Please, Mrs. McSparran. Hello, Mrs. McSparran. Go on. They're distracted. They turned to you the last minute. Please talk to her. Mrs. McSparran.
She was beautiful as southern skies the night he met her. She was married to someone. He was doggedly determined that he would get her. He was old, he was young. From time to time, he'd tip his heart, but each time she withdrew. Everybody loves the sound of a train in the distance. Everybody thinks it's true. Everybody loves the sound of a train in the distance. Everybody thinks it's true. Well, eventually the boy and the girl get married. Sure enough, they have a son. And though they both were occupied with the child she carried, disagreements had begun. And in a while it just fell apart. It wasn't hard to do. Everybody loves the sound of a train in the distance. Everybody thinks it's true. Everybody loves the sound of a train in the distance. Everybody thinks it's true. Two disappointed believers, two people playing the game. Negotiations and love songs are often mistaken for one and the same. And now the man and the woman, they remain in contact. Let us say it's for the child. With disagreements about the meaning of a marriage contract, conversations hard and wild. But from time to time, he just makes her laugh. She cooks a meal or two. Everybody loves the sound of a train in the distance. Everybody thinks it's true. Everybody loves the sound of a train in the distance. Everybody thinks it's true. What is the point of this story? What information pertains? The thought that life could be better is woven indelibly into our hearts and our brains. Like a train in the distance.
That's the end of the programme now. Why don't you end the programme the way you end your programme in the afternoon? Give the people a flavour of how you do it.
No, why don't you
Go
talk
on.
to Mrs.
No,
McSparran?
go on. Do it. Do the thing about taking the ball off the pitch. Go on.
Do you really want me to? What about Mrs. McSparran? You talk to Mrs. McSparran in the morning?
Yeah, of course I
About
will.
her wee dog?
Yes.
All right. Well, that's it now. It's time for me to lift the ball and take the team off the pitch.
That's what you say in the afternoon.
I
like it.
Do you?
Yeah. See, people don't get to hear that. What else do you say?
That's it. I said, Janet and I will be back same time tomorrow, just after 3.
That's great.
Have you have no ending.
No, I have no ending.
You need an end.
I need an end badly. What about this? If you see someone without a smile, give them one of yours.